In KwaZulu-Natal, the DA is seeking legal action against eThekwini Municipality over the sewage crisis in the metro. A number of beaches have been contaminated with raw sewage due to damaged infrastructure. The party wants the municipality to urgently fix the leaks. Karinda Jagmohan is at the site of these leaks. Just tell us what it is that you are seeing, smelling and hearing, Karinda.
Indeed, Dudu, even as I'm speaking to you, the stench of sewage is terrible. At this point, we were directed to this beach. It is Lelucia in Durban. And this is where we were told there's a sewage leak. Now, I can't exactly see the site of the sewage leak, but the stench is terrible. My colleague Gifton Kosi will show you the pool of water that is here, and that is where a lot of the smell is coming from. Now, at this point, of course, we know that the eThekwini municipality has said it is in the midst of repairing its sanitation infrastructure in terms of the sewage leaks. But yet, across areas of the city, there are sewage leaks in suburbs, at some beaches still, and of course we know there are issues at some of the wastewater treatment works. Now, my colleague Gift will show you. In the distance is an output pipe.
Okay, unfortunately, we have lost our connection to Karinda Jagmohan as she is showing us the source of the sewage leaks at some Durban beaches. Karinda, I believe you are back.
Vicinity of these bushes right here going into this water. Now, we've just come from a press briefing by the DA in which they have spoken about the criminal, or rather the charges they have opened at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. They are basing this on directives that were issued by the Department of Environmental Affairs in KZN from 2019. This department had issued directives to the municipality over the sewage leaks, but the municipality failed to follow this to the T to fix the sewage crisis, and of course that led to what we saw in December last year when sewage was leaking directly into rivers and ultimately into the beaches. Some of that has been fixed, but the stench here is still terrible, so there's still work to be done. This is very different from the Action SA litigation, where they are basing their litigation on eThekwini's bylaws, which speak about clean water and sanitation. The Abantu Bato Congress is acting as a friend of the court in that matter, specifically because their leader, Philani Mavundla, was the former chairperson of eThekwini's Human Settlements and Infrastructure, and he has documents, he says, that will point to eThekwini turning a blind eye to the various directives that were issued about this sanitation matter. But for now, Dudu, take a listen to what the DA's Yogus Governor had to say about the sewage leaks in various suburbs of eThekwini.
But you've also got ordinary private citizens who in their private homes have been adversely affected. I mean, just to have a simple meal or a glass of water and you've got the stink of sewage in the air 24/7. We've got hotspots of sewage. Besides the beaches that we've been highlighting for many, many months, there are pockets and pockets within every single ward in eThekwini that has this problem that has pervaded for years. So in as much as our application is intended to help, it is intended to help the various sectors of our community, from the private resident, the ratepayer, the tenant, up to the corridors of the businesses. Some of them have had to close their doors. Some of them have suffered tremendous losses during the various festive periods that we've had since and before the floods have hit.
So Dudu, there you hear from a councillor about the sewage leak crisis in eThekwini, where she says there are pockets of the city that are experiencing the sewage leaks, and we've seen it for ourselves. In the suburb of La Mercy, just north of Durban, there's a street there where there's been sewage leaking on the road directly outside homes of people, and they have to travel past this every day. People also have to walk past this every day. And in Umlazi, south of Durban, there's a sewage pipe that is gushing out sewage. We were there just last week. Here in Lelusha, which is just nearby Umhlanga, it's supposed to be, like you can see, a beautiful beach for people to come and enjoy recreational activities. But where we stand at this point, it is a disgusting smell of sewage, almost unbearable. And it's coming from some of this water here. We just need to actually find the point of where the sewage is leaking, but it's definitely close by. Now, with all of this happening, with the city essentially sinking in sewage, now the municipality is facing 3 matters at the courts, one from Action SA, one from DA, and one pending criminal matter opened by the Environmental Affairs Department of KZN that the NPA is yet to decide whether or not they'll prosecute on. All of this because of what Tabani Mthethwa, the DA caucus leader, alleges is the lack of political will and accountability to spend money on repairing the sewage infrastructure in Durban.
Karinda Jagmohan, thank you very much. Coming through from KwaZulu-Natal, Durban to be specific, reporting on a city sinking in sewage. We'll touch base with you a little bit later on.